All right, so this past week we finally got some waves, right? And we've had this like wave drought since the beginning of July. And so Tropical Storm Earl comes in and gifts us with some like nice groundswell. So, you know, you can tell it's been a couple months because the surfers were out in force. I mean, we're talking, you can see on the webcam there were almost 100 of them easy. So that was cool, but Earl brought no wind. I got out on this Sunday morning. I didn't have that much time. I didn't have as much as I wished. My wife had to cover for someone and work early, so I had to watch the kids in the morning. And then, we have a kid's birthday party I had to take them to at 3, and my wife was at work in the afternoon, so I'd be with the kids then. So I had like a 2-hour window I could get on the water. Earl brought us these 4 to 5 foot chest to shoulder high waves on Sunday, and nice and spaced out, like 11-second periods. Almost no wind. The water was beautiful. It was awesome. It was just good to be out there. And surfing was good. I had a deadline, and the one thing is, it's kind of hard to settle. Sometimes I found, like, especially with the foil sup, it's just hard to settle. In some sessions I'm out there and I have to remind myself to settle a little bit, and sometimes you have to continually do that, because probably with the sup you're constantly getting, amping your heart rate up, and then you have to remind yourself to calm your mind at the same time. Otherwise I just feel like my mind gets like racing just with my heart, And some sessions are totally fine, but maybe this one's a little different because the waves just happen to be on like the bigger side of my comfort zone. I prefer waves that are like 4 foot on my foil sup. That's where I can kind of maximize my enjoyment with my current skill level. And this day it was fine. I actually preferred to take the smaller waves that were coming in, in the sets. But I'm hanging out kind of on the inside. All of a sudden there'd be this big one that would come in. It would either take you out or you had to just go with it. And so you had to surf it or deal, basically. And so I rode some of those, and I rode some longer ones all the way in. I fell a lot. I'd say I probably had a handful of waves that I rode all the way in to the end, but I was really flying off in every direction. I smashed my legs on the foil a few times, pretty good.
Oh boy, that hurt.
And it gave my upper body muscles a really good workout. It got my heart rate up, so it was a good day. So I was probably out there for 2 hours, right? It was nothing epic, but it was a sesh, and it was, it felt good getting back on the foil sup after a year. And to be expected, it was a little awkward. Plus, I changed my setup. I ended up with a Cabrinha H1000 foil that I got from my buddy Phil at kitesite.net. I've tried that on the wing, and I was just like, while I have it, I might as well demo it on my sup. So that worked for me. I had a 7'8", foil sup. So it was smooth. I don't want to say I had trouble steering it, but it felt a little awkward. My feet felt awkward. I'm trying to think of how to explain that. My balance was off, or maybe it was the input that I was giving my feet, my toes and just the parts of my feet weren't really translating to the board the same way, and so that was messing with my balance a little bit, I guess. I attribute that to being just something different than what I'm used to. But I did get up pretty easily, although I feel sometimes I just had to kind of rock it or to get a little pump to get it up on foil. But it seemed smooth, it wasn't pitchy, I could control the pitch pretty good, so it was cool. I went in to check the time at one point, and I only had another 30 minutes left, but I did end up going back out on my Army foil, and I prefer to ride when I'm on my foil sup a 1250 Army foil. And when I got on all of that, all the weirdness went away. So I think it's just getting used to something, and my Army foil is just something that I kind of prefer to be on, and I feel I'm kind of at home. But this demo was for science. I'm glad I got to try it, and for the next sub sesh, I'll definitely be starting on my 1250. I'll be totally stoked, but I'm totally cool with the fact that I got to try something else. All right, so I said I was on a timeline, right? And so by the time I got back to the car and I took my sup apart, I was running low on time. And I take my wetsuit off, and I find this nice little surprise on my leg. I look at this thing, and I instantly know, I'm like, oh man, I kind of need stitches for this,
I need stitches.
And I had a kid's birthday party coming up that I had to go to. So, I found some wet wipes in the back. I wrapped it up with like one of my wife's like hair rubber bands. Off I go. I head home. I unpack my car. I wash the cut out, put some butterfly bandages, and within like 10 minutes of me getting home, I'm like driving my kids on the way to a birthday party. So we were at the birthday party for a couple hours, and then we get home, and my wife was working till like almost 10, so like there's no way I can get to the ER or anything like that. But luckily I posted a pic on kind of like on my local like chat forum that we all have, and a buddy of mine reached out and was like, dude, you really should get stitches for that. But I knew I didn't really have time to go to the hospital or a clinic, so short story long, I ended up at his place that night, and he patched me up. The story doesn't stop there. As he's patching me up, I get this kind of crazy endorphin rush. Cold sweat, tunnel vision. They said I turned this like shade of like gray, yellow, green, and I tried to fight it, and you can't really fight it. At least I kind of got out to them like, hey guys, I'm feeling a little woozy, and his wife came over to kind of put her hands on my shoulders and to help out. So at the time, I thought I just got stuck in this deep tunnel vision trippy zone, right? And I was there, they were talking, I could kind of hear them talking, but I was just like, but then I go back and I look at the footage, and I totally passed out for a few seconds.
Okay.
I came to the other side, it dissipated all pretty quick. I felt dazed, but that's about it. And I didn't feel woozy or anything after that. But man, this has happened to me like twice before now. The last time it happened was when I was getting my K-wires removed. And I have a video of it if you haven't seen it. It was after my Liz Frank injury. And so, again, no pain whatsoever, but it's just this totally weird that they're like pulling these things out, and I'm feeling and watching, and I guess it just got me like worked up, and I've been in a lot of pain before, and that's not the trigger. It's more like when metal things are like entering or leaving my body and I happen to be watching. Although I do give blood frequently, and it doesn't really happen when I give blood. So my wife, she assumes that it's because it's so painful, right? And it's not that at all. I couldn't even feel this pain. It's not really about fear, because I didn't have any. I'm not really squeamish. In fact, I want to watch this stuff. I'm terribly interested in this and what's happening to me, and I want to watch. That's why I brought my camera in. But this physical reaction that my body has to, I guess, just being in a situation like this, and like you just can't control it. So I just feel like I wanted to share this experience. Has this ever happened, or does this happen to you? Let me know. Let me hear your stories. If you want to see some more of my videos, please consider clicking that subscribe button. I'm probably out of the water for another week, but some more wing videos will be following soon. I can't wait. And with that, I hope all of you guys are doing well out there. I'll see you guys soon on the flip, and I wish you all an awesome day. Later.